Hey everybody, Jeremy Crow here. In this video, I'm going to teach you the 8 most essential principles for mastering lucid dreaming. And you know what? Let's not do this in the car. It's way too nice of a day today. This is so much nicer. It's actually a day when it's not raining that I'm doing an outdoor video. Why is that light still on? Okay, please, no ticks. I don't want to get ticks. So, lucid dreaming. These are the essential pieces of knowledge that you need to absorb and integrate into your practice in order to master lucid dreaming. And lucid dreaming is simply just being aware that you are in a dream when you're dreaming. And that allows you a certain level of control, or at least agency. It allows you to interact in the dream environment with the knowledge of the nature of the reality that you're being presented with. So, principle number 1. Lucid dreaming and astral projection are the same state. The only difference is the method of getting into that state in the first place. So I know there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with me. That's fine. Have your own opinion. Personally, I feel that it is superstitious thinking to believe that they are different. Now, some people will say, oh, well, with astral projection, you're actually leaving the body. But in lucid dreaming, you don't leave the body. Well, really, what does that even mean, to leave the body? If it's a non-physical thing in the first place, how does a non-physical thing travel in the physical world without a physical body? If you've left the physical body, then you've left physicality. Just think about that for a moment. I've been doing this for decades, and it is the identical state. Just when you have a lucid dream, you fall asleep, you lose consciousness, a dream arises, and then while that dream is happening, you realize that it's a dream. Now, an astral projection, that is the same state you're entering into, but you don't fall asleep first. You enter it directly. It's a more advanced technique of lucid dreaming, really. Number 2, it is vitally important for you to maintain a dream journal. Now, there are several reasons for this. One reason being that it will dramatically increase your dream recall. And to have a lucid dream and not remember it, it's not really that valuable. I know when I've maintained a dream journal religiously, I've started to have like 6 dreams in one night that I'll remember. It gets crazy. And that's another factor that I wanted to point out here. You don't have to always write it down. If you do write it down, you can even just do point form, but you can also use a voice recorder or a voice memo app on your phone. The key thing is to record the dream in some manner. This will send a message to your subconscious mind that remembering dreams is important. Now, this will become a valuable resource later because you can also mine it for recurring things that happen in your dream. These are called dream sign, and you can train yourself to recognize when dream sign happens and then you do a state test. You can test yourself to see whether you're dreaming or not. Principle number 3, nutrition. One of the things that I really wanted to point out here is make sure that you are not deficient in B vitamins. I regularly take B complex, and this is something that has such a dramatic impact on my dream life. If I don't have B complex regularly, I don't have as many lucid dreams. It's as simple as that. Number 4, you gotta abstain from cannabis. Don't smoke the reefer if you want to have lucid dreams. It really diminishes the quantity and quality of your REM sleep. Now, REM sleep stands for rapid eye movement. It's a phase in your sleep cycle which you are most likely to be having an intense dream. Now, if you're a regular cannabis user, one thing you can do is actually just stop smoking weed or consuming cannabis in whatever form you consume it in, and within a couple days, you're going to experience what they call REM rebound. You'll have extra REM, your body's trying to catch up, and you'll have even more intense dreams. Now, some people will actually use that if, say, they are a medical cannabis user and they have to use cannabis in order to manage their symptoms or their condition. Wow, that's a little loud there. Some kind of construction way in the distance, but I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. Anyways, so what some people will do, if they do have to use cannabis, they will cycle off of it for periods of time, and that's the time that they really focus on their dream work, because they'll be having that REM rebound and they'll be having a lot of really intense dreams during that, say, week or 2 weeks where they won't be using any cannabis. Principle number 5, autosuggestion. It is such a simple technique, but so powerful. And really all that means, autosuggestion just means giving yourself a suggestion. And really it's like an affirmation or just simply setting an intention. You can use it for all the different aspects of lucid dreaming, and it can help you with pretty much any of these principles. So before you go to bed, if you're having dream recall issues, you can give yourself the suggestion that when I wake up in the morning, I will remember a dream. Now, this can also be used specifically for lucid dreaming. You can say, the next time that I'm dreaming, I will remember to recognize that I'm dreaming. Now, you can enhance the efficacy of autosuggestion using self-hypnosis if you know how to do that. Really, it's pretty simple. You just relax your body, relax your mind, and you will automatically go into a light alpha state, a light trance state where you are more suggestible, and the suggestion you give to yourself, your auto-suggestion, will go deeper into the subconscious mind. Number 6, I guess I'll do it like this because I'm holding the camera with my other hand. 6, make a habit of questioning your reality. Anything that you make a habit eventually will work itself into a dream. So if you make a habit of questioning the reality that you're presented with, eventually you will do that in a dream, and you will hopefully, actually the first time this happens, you'll be like, oh, is this a dream? Nah, it's totally not a dream. And then you'll wake up and you'll be like, oh shit, that really was a dream. And that is a key moment that I find in a person's journey, a person's lucid dreaming journey, because that's the point when you really realize that, my God, I could be dreaming at any given time, really. It's so convincing. State testing is one way that you can establish that habit of questioning the reality you're presented with. And what you'll do is you will do a little test to determine whether or not you're dreaming. There are different rules in the waking world, or the waking dream as I like to call it, and the sleeping dream. So one test you can try is to try and fly. Okay, so that didn't work. So I'm probably not dreaming. But maybe you are. So this isn't my dream, maybe it's your dream. People, and that's the other thing too, a dream character will often try and convince you that it's not a dream. They're like, what are you talking about? This isn't a dream. Another test that I've seen that's popular is to hold your nose and close your mouth and then try and breathe. If you're able to, then you are probably dreaming, or you might have some sort of medical issue. You might need to get that checked out. Another one that I like to do is if you are near glass. Glass, I pick glass specifically because there's less mental resistance to this. Try and push your finger through the glass. And if your hand passes through the solid glass, you're probably dreaming. Another very popular test is actually to look at a digital watch, or the time on your smartphone might be a more modern example, because digital clocks really don't seem to work properly in dreams. It just seems to be universal. Another thing you can try is to read some piece of writing, look away, and then look back and try and read it again. If it's changed in the meantime, you're probably dreaming, or you're looking at some sort of digital medium. Look at something actually written down on a physical piece of paper. And by the way, I cover a lot of these types of topics in my videos, and I've got over 100 videos already. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now before you forget, and that way you won't miss any new videos that come out. Number 7. Once you are in a dream and you've realized that it's a dream, they just immediately wake up. Or they think that that's what they're supposed to do, and they'll just wake up. Or if it's a nightmare, they wake up in order to escape it. But that's not what we want to do here. If it's a nightmare, we want to just take control and either do something that will change the situation in some way that it's not quite as uncomfortable. Now, when you get really advanced, you can start to explore these nightmare situations, and they can be a very powerful catalyst for growth. Needless to say, if you want to have a lucid dream, you don't want just a couple seconds worth of lucid dreaming and then wake up. It kind of defeats the purpose. So in order to stay in the lucid dream longer, you're going to want to stabilize that dream state. And the way you do this is by super engaging the senses of your dream body, for lack of a better phrase or term. So what some people will do, and this is something that I've personally found very effective, is I will just start spinning around like a top, or like the Tasmanian Devil cartoon from Warner Brothers. My theory is that you're trying to get your brain to recognize the dream as the reality that you're supposed to be focused on, rather than the inputs coming from your physical sense organs. It's kind of like a competition between the two. You can also get sensations coming from your physical sense organs being incorporated into the dream, and that's fine. But you want to really engage the dream senses and get your dream to be the #1 reality that you are engaging with in that moment. Some people will just start flying, and that's the way that they do it. Another one that I've seen that's very common is for people to fling themselves backwards, like suddenly. Or you can rub your hands together. You can just start rubbing your hands together, and that creates a different form of sensation. It all depends on your preferred modality. There's people who are more kinesthetic, and there's people that are more visual. You know, people generally aren't primarily gustatory, which is taste, or olfactory, which is smell, but if you can engage more senses at once, that's going to root you into the dream and allow you to stay in the dream for longer. Anytime you feel that the dream is beginning to fade or you're starting to wake up, you can do this again. Repeat it as often as you need to and for as long as you have to in order to stabilize that dream. Principle number 8. This is at least as important as all the other principles. Now, what I want to tell you here, I want you to take this to heart. When you do enter a lucid dream or find yourself in that lucid dream state, it's important to treat the dream characters you encounter and even the dream environment in general with compassion. Everything in the dream, you should treat it as if it were an aspect of yourself. You can really get into some trouble, and I don't like scaremongering about these types of things, but really you can get into some trouble if you don't treat your dream characters with compassion and the respect that you should give to yourself. Now, I know some people don't give themselves very much compassion, but this is something that you need to work on if you don't. And one way you can do that is by learning to treat the dream characters you encounter with compassion. It is very important. I don't want to see you hurt yourself. I don't want to see you hurt your dream characters, because ultimately it does hurt yourself and there are consequences. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm moralizing here. This is a very practical tip for me to give you, and this is one that I've learned the hard way. And I have friends who have learned this the hard way and have told me about it. So just please keep this in mind. Treat your dream characters with compassion. Okay, now I gotta try and get out of here. So now I hope I've given you some useful tips, some actual practical information that you can put to use immediately to start on your lucid dreaming journey. That's what was making all that noise. So I hope you found these tips useful. If you did, please hit that like button, show your appreciation. It really helps get this message out to a larger audience. Share it with your friends. And most importantly, I'd like to see you actually put these principles into action in your life. Oh, awesome. Mulberries. Oh wow, they're really ripe. Maybe I'll save some for the birds. Okay, so there are plenty more principles and techniques and little tweaks and tricks and tips and whatever that you can learn from books, you can learn from videos that are beyond what I've taught you here. But those are the 8 most important principles that if you can integrate those into your practice and master those, you will be well on your way to becoming a dream yogi and mastering your dream world and enjoying it. And I haven't even gotten into what to do with that state once you're in it, but really the most important thing is to get into that state and just experience it and just have fun with it. And that alone has such a dramatic, transformative effect on a person's psyche. It gets them thinking along different lines. I can't even describe the impact that it's had on my life. It's just something that you're going to have to experience for yourself. So until next time, everybody, stay lucid.